All right, here we go. We are now ready for what you all came here to see. 20 mixed martial artists, 10 total fights, including 2 title fights for one Fierce Fighting Championship evening. So Fierce fans, we have got to let the fighters in the back know that you are here and that you are ready. Put your hands together and make some noise! 2024, let's do this. Our first fight of the evening is sponsored by Smith RV. They have been in operation for over 100 years serving Southeast Idaho. Their goal is to make your RV buying experience the best possible, offering a wide variety of new and used RVs. Smith RV, where adventure begins. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Michael Feifer and then Kenny Bradfield to the cage.
All right, first of 20 tonight, enter Michael Feifer. Caitlin didn't get the hand raised in the debut, but certainly showed some striking competency. Gets another rep, and this time on a full camp.
It makes a huge difference being able to get in a full fight camp for fights. He took his last and his first amateur debut on a 1-week notice. That is insane. I love the guts and the game of Michael Feifer.
Yeah, I talked to Michael Feifer a little bit following that debut, and he told me that he was well aware of his deficiencies in the first fight, primarily in the grappling department, but looks forward to the test once again. Michael Feifer fighting out of Gladiator Fight Academy in Salt Lake City. We see Cole Schaefer in the corner. Played basketball and lacrosse primarily growing up, but when he realized he wasn't going to the NBA, he shifted his focus to something new, and that being his second MMA fight now here tonight.
Awesome, yeah, I'm glad to see him back in the cage again.
Michael Feifer went a full 9 minutes on the ground with a jiu-jitsu purple belt in his first fight. That was back on October 1st of 2023. Looking to get that first win right now. All right, quite the pop, and first of 4 out of Half Gracie Jiu-Jitsu tonight is Kenny Bradfield. Caitlin, when I asked him what he's looking forward to in the debut, he just said a brawl. I just want a full-blown brawl.
I mean, I'll write that. I'll write that. I'm excited to see if Kenny will actually back up his words. If he does, that should make for an exciting first fight of the night.
Kenny Bradfield comes from a wrestling background. 4 years of wrestling growing up, ranked as high as 6th in the state of Idaho during his time competing. And with that being said, let's pull up our tale of the tape presented by Water and Wellness for this amateur middleweight bout. Kenny Bradfield facing off against Michael Feifer. Bradfield, 10-year senior to Feifer. On top of that, we have the largest height discrepancy on the card by 7 inches. Pfeiffer will have the advantage there. Pfeiffer weighing in at 184.5 pounds. Bradfield weighing in at 182. Bradfield making his debut. Pfeiffer with a record of 0-1.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Smith RV. This fight is an amateur middleweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tom Supnet. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighed in at 184.5 pounds. Fighting out of Gladiator Fight Academy, hailing from San Diego, California. Fierce fans, make some noise for Michael Feifer. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he weighed in at 182 pounds. He's fighting out of Half Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Idaho Falls, hailing from Preston, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Kenny Bradfield.
Michael Feifer in the blue gloves, debuting Kenny Bradfield, poses opposite in the red. This amateur middleweight bout to kick off 2024 is brought to you by Smith RV. With a wide variety of new and used RVs, there's no better place to start your new journey. Smith RV, where adventures begin, and an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Bradfield immediately in on that takedown. Able to land it as well.
I like how he called out a brawl, but immediately went for the shot. Looks like Pfeiffer's locking up the head right here.
Bradfield able to attack the hands. We've also got new glow pop gloves that pop a little bit as Bradfield floors Pfeiffer in that exchange.
Pfeiffer right now should really work on unlocking that guard and using his back up against the cage and trying to get back up to his feet, because he does have the reach advantage, so maybe he would do better in the striking department.
Not a great spot for Pfeiffer to be. The Idaho backdrop shirt certainly loves it. Kenny Bradfield getting a huge pop when he walks out, as well as in the opening moments of round number 1, 60 seconds in.
He definitely has the hometown advantage tonight.
Now, after watching Pfeiffer's first fight, this is very similar to the position that he lived at through the entirety of 9 minutes when he faced off against Jason Ergel down in St. George, Utah.
Yeah, I'd really like him to open his guard right here and work on standing up.
Pfeiffer been training over at Gladiator Fight Academy for the better part of a year at this point. Again, Bradfield a little bit more green, but certainly has the grappling pedigree as we're seeing throughout the entirety of this first round thus far.
Definitely. He has been in control this entire fight. It seems like Pfeiffer is almost comfortable right here with his back on the mat. Or on the cage, I should say.
A couple of punches from the bottom from Pfeiffer. Does not shake Bradfield whatsoever. Continues to stay in the guard, but still on bottom.
.20 seconds left of the first round. Not a whole lot of damage here, just a lot of control by Bradfield.
Ten ticks to go as we will head into a second round in what has been all Bradfield through 1.
Make some noise.
Kalen, we're going to go to one of the corners, but in your thought with Pfeiffer, what do you think he needs to do to get his confidence back headed into the second round?
If I were him, I would immediately circle. I wouldn't let Bradfield in on my legs again, and I would try to stay standing and use my reach advantage. Maybe keep the jab out there, keep it working, and pop it in his face, and keep him away from the takedown.
We're over in the corner of Kenny Bradfield, certainly following the game plan thus far, it seems like. Would you like to see him get a little bit more offense going, though?
Yeah, no, I would definitely like to see him put a little bit more striking out there, maybe pass the guard, get a submission, try to be a little bit more advantageous in this next round.
When talking to Kenny Bradfield, told me he always wanted this opportunity to get the fight and now gets it in front of his home crowd. We see Pfeiffer, a little bit of bruising underneath the left eye, as we will head to the top of a second of a possible 3-round fight.
Ooh.
Nice inside leg kick by Pfeiffer. Bradfield immediately back in on that takedown, now in the center of the cage rather than up against it.
Yep. Did a simple overhand to the single leg. Worked like a charm.
We hear in the corner of Cole Schaefer saying that Feifer needs to utilize his hips a little bit more. Caitlin, your thoughts on where Michael needs to go in terms of his mobility?
I mean, I would just open up that guard and work to stand up. I don't think he's doing himself any favors by locking up the guard and throwing punches from the bottom.
Did get a quick pop from the crowd for Feifer. Some high-velocity shots, though, from the bottom. Not the best angle to go, though.
Yeah, even when you're landing those punches from the bottom, it does look like Bradfield is still winning because he's on top and in control.
A little bit of back and forth as Feifer lands a few more from the bottom, El Kukui style. If they were pros, you got to wonder if those would be elbows, Caitlin.
They would definitely be elbows. And they'd probably cut and damage a little bit more.
Little bit of movement by Feifer on the bottom. Bradfield's pressure certainly heavy as Feifer garners a little bit more offense. Nice hammer fist landed as well by Bradfield. About 75 seconds remaining in the second round of this first bout of 2024.
Looks like Bradfield is walking Feifer back to the cage. I like to see him kind of like posture and strike, get a little more damage in there. He is doing a great job at controlling this fight in his amateur debut.
A little bit more movement. Looks like Bradfield beginning to try to pass. Feifer, strong-willed on the grips, able to get back to home base, which has been him on the bottom. Final 10 of round number 2. More of the same. But Caitlin, we'll talk a little bit more about this. A little bit more offense.
Definitely more offense. I do think it was almost identical to the first round, except for the takedown was slightly different. So we'll see if we get the exact same going into third.
Now, certainly we don't do any sort of open scoring. We are unsure of what the judges' scorecards look like. But as we are in the corner of Michael Feifer, what do you think the keys are for him to either gain this third round, or do you think he needs to come away with a win?
Oh, he needs a finish to get this win. I think I would give first 2 rounds to Bradfield for sure. He had control the entire time. He got both takedowns. What I would say for Michael Feifer is that he needs to keep it standing. He obviously doesn't have the grappling advantage, and then hopefully get a knockout.
Back over to Kenny Bradfield we go. Kenny Bradfield, also a full-time nurse as well. A little bit of an oxymoron there, an MMA fighter, but also a full-time nurse. Fun little nugget of knowledge there as we head into our third and final round of our first of 10 bouts here tonight at Fierce Fighting Championship 29.
He can put on the damage and then fix it after.
Might be able to help the doctors out a little bit in the back. Third and final round, 3 minutes to decide this one in what has been a grappling showcase by Kenny Bradfield. However, Michael Feifer showcasing a little bit more of his lanky striking. Bradfield right in on that takedown.
He timed that kick really well.
A perfect 3 for 3 for the fighter out of Houth Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Right here in Idaho Falls, Bradfield once again punching away, but concedes a position in the process, Caitlin.
Yeah, this time we see Bradfield inside control, so we'll see if we have a little bit different story this third round.
Some framing in for Feifer, but Bradfield still pointing up with a couple of blows on the bottom as well. Looks like Bradfield's looking to transition a bit, Caitlin.
Yeah, he kind of has that knee on belly. It looks like it just slipped off a little bit.
Do you think he feels more comfortable here, or he might be wanting to go to a mount? What do you think?
If I were him, I'd be working to go towards a mountain to look for a finish, but he seems to be comfortable in side control.
Again, Bradfield, his debut. Feifer did go the full 9 minutes in his debut. All signs point to going for another full 9 minutes here. 1:07 to go in our third and final round.
Yeah, Bradfield doesn't look like he's looking for a finish. He's just more looking like to control the position and get the decision. Oh, as I say that, he moves into mount and throws some big shots. Ooh, Feifer tries to buck him off right there.
Has the knee shield, has a partial guard. Might be a little too late for anything for Feifer, but we will see as he works off of his back. 35 seconds to go, round 3.
Looks like he might be trying to go for an armbar, but it's not quite there.
Feifer trying to utilize the jiu-jitsu a little bit. Bradfield evades.
Feifer is landing some mean shots from bottom, though.
All right, all signs point to Kenny Bradfield being victorious in the debut. We see the frustration out of Michael Feifer. Caitlin, your thoughts on our first bout of the evening? Kenny Bradfield looked pretty good in there.
I mean, yeah, he had control from start to finish. I don't think Michael Feifer even had an answer for him with the grappling.
Kenny Bradfield, the Idaho Falls native, wrestled throughout a portion of his life. Wrestled a bit in college as well in Rexburg, Idaho. We see the frustration of Michael Feifer as well, hearing from Cole Schaefer. We don't have the official scorecards in, but you've got to think he is going to be moving to 0-2. As for Kenny Bradfield, mission accomplished, although the middleweight, does look quite exhausted as we go the full time in our first bout of 2024.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Tim Turner scores this contest 30-26 for the red corner, Kenny Bradfield. Mike Mickelson scores this contest 29-28 for the blue corner, Michael Feifer. And Aaron Welling scores this contest 29-28 for your winner by split decision. Out of the blue corner, Michael Feifer.
All right, I am here with your winner, Michael Feifer. It looks like the crowd is going a little bit, like we have a little bit of mixed reviews right now. How are you feeling?
I mean, that's how MMA is, man. People disagree. He took me down about like 3 or 4 times, was controlling me on the ground, you know. I mean, it makes sense how they feel. I felt like I was doing some damage from the bottom, you know. I'm obviously happy with the decision. I wouldn't have been mad if he won either. It is what it is, man. So I'm just happy to be here. Thank you, Fierce Fighting Championship, for giving me the experience. And I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm about to go and watch these fights, so y'all can talk your shit, but you don't have the nuts to get here anyway, so.
All right, and is that how you were expecting the fight to go down? And is that what you're planning on for this fight camp?
Yeah, I mean, I was, my whole camp, I was just trying to work from the bottom and stuff, and I mean, he was a strong dude. I was trying to work my triangles and whatnot, and he was really heavy base on top of me, but, you know, I'm happy with the outcome, so.
Awesome, and do you have any sponsors or family or friends you'd like to thank?
Absolutely, I want to thank my coaches, Cole and Rick Schaefer, for coming out here and supporting me. Ned Shuput, thank you so much. You taught me damn near everything I know, so, you know, I appreciate you. My whole family, all my friends, thank you so much. I mean, I'm going to be back in here soon. I'm going to get better. No one wants to stand with me, bruh, so, like, come on.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Michael Feifer.
Bem-vindo! Welcome to Che. Join us for a Brazilian dining experience that's all about you. Choose from our fresh drink selections, including homemade Brazilian limeades and cocktails. Grab your plate and head to the salad bar and grill. Here, you'll find fresh salads and savory sides. At the authentic Gaucho Grill, we offer over 12 different meats carved from the fire. Taste something you love? Go back for more, then finish off with a homemade Brazilian dessert. Come choose your adventure at Che Brazilian Grill.
All right, welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 29. Caitlin, I have to apologize to Michael Feifer as well as our entire audience. You are typically not supposed to say who you believe is going to win in my role, but it seemed as though all the cards were on the side of Kenny Bradfield. I think a lot of people here were shocked.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I guess I wasn't watching the same fight the judges were, but I'll give it to Michael Feifer. He's a gamer. He was a good sport about it. So he said he would have been fine with the decision going either way. So I think that was good.
All right, well, we are headed into our next bout of the evening. Tate Martin facing off against Jace Coons, a pair of Idaho locals, and we're going to bring them out right now.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Clean Juice, food made right the way it was intended to be. Their USDA certified organic juice and food bar are handcrafted with the highest quality ingredients that are safe for you and your family, making Clean Juice a juice and food bar you can trust. Your healthy journey starts right here with Clean Juice. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Tate Martin and then Jace Coons to the cage.
All right, Caitlin, I think we're having a little deja vu here. Last time we were in Idaho, we had a handful of these where fight music plays, but no fighter walks. We are unsure of where Tate Martin is, but certainly somewhere within the building. I saw him a little while ago.
You know, there was a couple of fights that I've had personally where I think, you know, if I just leave out the back door, would anyone notice? So maybe he's having similar feelings to right now.
Well, Tate Martin's been game throughout the entirety of me talking to him up to this fight, but you got to wonder where he is at, if this is a commission issue or something of that sort. Still no word.
Tate Martin, you're up, buddy. Come on out, Tate Martin. Fierce fans, Tate Martin, here he comes. Let's keep this going. Keep it going, Jovi.
All right, another inaugural walk here tonight. Enter Tate Martin. Caitlin, a multiple-time All-American wrestler and obsessed with combat sports, to quote him. Sounds like a recipe success in the amateur debut.
I love the confidence of this fighter. And with his wrestling background, I hope we will get to see some of his grappling skills here tonight.
Yeah, Tate Martin wrestling for half of his life, MMA training for only about 8 months, and minimal jiu-jitsu reps, but all things considered, a credentialed grappler. Also, a myriad of other training disciplines, Muay Thai, Kung Fu, Taekwondo background, all under the belt of Tate Martin, headed in to his debut out of Teton Martial Arts in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Tate Martin also cross-trains with talented prospects over at Team Lionheart, another talented gym here in the Gem State. And Caitlin, again, another debut where we got 4 tonight. He's our second. Your thoughts on just what the emotions are like when you're getting the Vaseline on the face, you're making that walk, you're hearing your music?
Yeah, I mean, he has a wrestling background, so I know he's used to high-level competitions, but MMA fighting is a whole different ballgame, so I'm sure the nerves are high right now.
There he is as he enters the cage, Tate Martin for his amateur debut.
All right, Jovi, let's do it, buddy.
All right, third walk in an 11-month span, all within the confines of the Mountain America Center. Enter Jace Coons. Caitlin, we saw some maturation from the first to the second fight. I'm sure we will see more evolving here from the second to the third.
From personal experience, you can't count out a fighter that's 0-2. I started my pro career as 0-2, then was able to flip it around. So hopefully Jace has put in the work and will have a similar story to tell.
Jace Coons appeared on every Fierce card in Idaho. This is his third fight in an 11-month span. The February loss to Preston Carlson, who fights later on here tonight to headline our prelims. On top of that, a fight against Mark Laney back in June. Jace Coons once again making the walk out of Half Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Jace Coons closed the distance a fair share of times last fight. No landed takedowns. We will have to see how he fares with Tate Martin. But with that, let's pull up our tale of the tape presented by Water and Wellness. This amateur lightweight bout between Jace Coons and Tate Martin. Coons, 6-year senior. We've got an identical height at 5'8". Coons weighing in at 154 pounds. Martin weighing in at 154.5 pounds. Coons with a record of 0-2. Tate Martin makes his debut right now.
Of the evening is sponsored by Clean Juice. This fight is an amateur lightweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Nate Tom Supnet. Switched it on me there. All right, here we go. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of blue corner. Making his amateur debut, he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 154 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Teton Martial Arts, hailing from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Tate the Martin Martin! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 0 wins and 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 154 pounds. Fighting out of Half Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Idaho Falls, hailing from Idaho Falls. Fierce fans, make some noise for Jace Coons!
First time for Tate Martin, sporting the blue gloves. Mountain America Center regular Jace Coons in the red. This amateur lightweight bout is brought to you by Clean Juice, the newest place for a healthy juice. Clean Juice, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Martin a couple knees early to the body as Coons looks to initiate a takedown, unable to do so. Back up to the feet we go.
Both of these fighters look almost identical, striking and the way they're moving.
Martin utilizing those leg kicks a bit.
Jace looking for that takedown. He has a single leg. Let's see if he can finish it. Just need to run the pipe right there.
Martin wraps up the neck. Not a prime position, but able to separate into the center of the cage we go. Jace Coons looks a lot more well-versed in the striking specifically, Caitlin.
Yeah, definitely. He's throwing a lot more. He's using his shots to set up the takedowns. Definitely some improvement there. He's landing a nice few leg kicks, too.
A clashing leg kick in the middle as Tate Martin finds himself on bottom. Jace Coons, the beautiful landed takedown. Martin shoots right back up.
Ooh, Jace Coons got the takedown in that one.
Coons finds himself on top. Martin on bottom, right in his own corner. Jace Coons, 2 years of MMA training after some combatives training for law enforcement. Finds himself here in his 3rd bout at 31 years of age.
Yeah, and we're only 2 minutes in, but he's looking awesome in this fight. He's just worked his way to mount. Let's see if he can get his head clear right here.
As aforementioned, Coons been finished by submission his last 2 fights, but now he's the one doing the punishing. Martin finds his way back to his feet as we get a huge pop for both of these Idaho Falls locals. A little bit more forward pressure from Martin as he spent a fair share of time on the ground. Coons is brought back by that strike landed by Martin. Nice knee up the middle as well by Martin. Final 10 seconds of round number 1.
Tate lands a few strikes right there at the very end.
Caitlin, it was almost a tale of 2 rounds, right? Jace Coons, the aggressor in the first half, Tate Martin doing a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Tate woke up halfway through the round and tried to turn it on.
What can you typically attribute that to?
I think just getting comfortable in the cage. This is his debut. There's nerves. You don't really know what to expect. But once you get more and more comfortable in there, you know what to look for.
Looking at the body language of Martin. Looks a little bit gassed, but nothing too serious, it looks like.
Yeah, he's kind of slouching over, maybe questioning himself a little bit. Jace actually looks pretty confident right here in his corner. I think he's pretty happy with that first round performance.
Seems like almost an impossible round to judge in terms of who won that round, but if you were to infer, what would you lean towards?
I would guess Jace. He got a couple takedowns. He controlled on top for pretty much half the round, so I would give it to Jace.
Big pops for both, big moments for both as we head to a second round. Coons went to the second round in his second fight. Never been to a third. We will see if we go the full 3 in this one. Coons back to the combinations.
Got a 1-2 leg kick in there. Tate returns with his own leg kick. Nice teep down the middle by Tate.
Martin beginning to read a little bit better as he lands that one. It echoes a bit. Martin trying to establish that jab.
He's more reaching out with that jab. I'd like to see him pop it out there a little bit more.
Nice leg kick landed by Coons as well. Couple big swings and misses by both. Coons, beautiful takedown, but finds himself on the bottom.
Yeah, he shot in for the double, didn't quite get his hips under him, and Tate turned it around to land on top.
Is that a distance issue where he took off from?
Yeah, he was reaching for that shot.
Martin in a prime position to finish. Finds himself on top, the crowd behind him. The ground and pound ensues, and a lot of time to work.
What Jace needs to do here is bump his hips up, get Martin's hands on the canvas, and hopefully do a bump and roll or shrimp out of this position. This is not a good spot for him to be in.
Martin pretty high as well. I mean, that's a tough mount to get out of.
Definitely. High mount is not an ideal position. It looks like he gave up the bat, but Tate isn't going to take it. He's just going to – he's happy with the punches. It looks like the ref is about to step in soon, so.
There it is, Tate Martin getting it done in the debut. A big-time finish for Tate Martin. And jubilation in the corner for Half Gracie. Or I apologize, Teton Martial Arts. Looks like we are just about ready to pull up the replay presented by Water and Wellness. We'll have Caitlin break that down for us if we have it. This replay is brought to you by Water and Wellness. Caitlin, take it away.
So right here, Tate is in mount. He's throwing punches. He kind of sees the ref is about to stop it, and so he keeps throwing the punches. It looked like for a second there he was about to take the back, but then I think he knew that he was going to get the finish.
What a way to close out the debut. We are going to make it official right now with Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, referee Tom Supnet has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 48 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Tate the Martian Martin, out of the second round.
I'm here with your winner, Tate Martin. Tate, how do you feel right now getting your hand raised for the very first time?
It's surreal. It's nice. It's a start to an addiction.
Yeah, and what was your game plan going into this fight?
I knew he was jiu-jitsu guy, so I knew he was going to try to take me down and submit me. So pretty much avoiding submissions, and other than that, doing my thing.
Nice. Congratulations on getting the finish. Do you have any sponsors you would like to thank, or friends or family members?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Teton Martial Arts, Martial Arts Academy, this beautiful country we live in for allowing us to do this kind of stuff. My God, my family, friends, and supporters, and you fans, thanks for making this happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Tate.
All right, welcome back in to Fierce Fighting Championship 29, presented by Water and Wellness. 2 fights in, Caitlin Neal, PFL flyweight, alongside me. And Caitlin, that one was a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more fun than the first. Your thoughts on it?
Definitely. It was way more back and forth. I think the most exciting thing about that last fight was the decision. But I think this fight was really fun to watch. It was back and forth between the two. You didn't really know who was going to win until the ref stepped in.
When you're looking at Tate Martin, it seems like he's got a lot of potential. Your thoughts on his debut performance?
I mean, he definitely showed a lot of potential. I think he has some work to do in the striking department, but his grappling looked great, and he did get the finish, so hats off to him.
Tate Martin getting it done, Michael Feifer in the decision. But now we move over to another amateur middleweight bout between Jonathan Riley and Taylor Mafileo. Taylor Mafileo back after 4 years away. Jonathan Riley, another fighter making his debut here on our prelims. Looks like we are just about ready. And with that, we are going to kick it over to Jackson Hoops to bring them out right now.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by the Sandwich Tree. Voted the #1 sandwich for years and locally owned and operated right here in Idaho Falls. Go try an Angel Special or your favorite sub sandwich along with group party subs, soups, and salads. Remember, the Sandwich Tree, the only sandwich shop where inches actually matter. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Taylor Mafileo and then Jonathan Riley to the cage.
Back after 4 years away and making his fierce debut, enter Taylor Mafileo. Caitlin, the youngest of the 3 Mafileo brothers who have competed in MMA, but if he's anything like his counterparts, I think we're in for a treat.
Oh, we are definitely in for a treat tonight. Taylor brings a fight from beginning to end, so I'm expecting a great performance from Taylor here tonight.
We see the Fierce FC pound-for-pound #1 fighter and heavyweight champion Kent Mafileo, who makes the walk in just 2 weeks, but this moment is for that man, Taylor Mafileo. Last fight was October 19th of 2019. His brother Alan, 39 years of age. His brother Kent, 36 years of age. Taylor, 33. A combined MMA record between the 3 brothers, 7-1. We will have to see how he fares after a little bit of time away, Caitlin.
Yeah, definitely. That's not a bad record to have between 3 boys.
Taylor Mafileo, both fights have gone the full time and ended in a unanimous decision. Lost his debut back in April of 2019 and won back in October of 2019. He's at 185 pounds tonight, the heaviest he has ever been. His previous fights were at 170 pounds. All right, third of 4 debuters here tonight is Jonathan Riley. Caitlin, a new name to us, but a regular amongst those at Origins Combatives, a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and a teammate of Fierce's pound-for-pound #1 female fighter, Melody Schrock.
If he's coming from the same camp as Melody Schrock, I have a feeling his jiu-jitsu will be on point. I'm excited to see what this newcomer has for us tonight.
Jonathan Riley out of Origins Combatives. The origin of this debut stems from watching fights with his dad growing up, and with that, we will pull up our tale of the tape presented by Water and Wellness. this amateur middleweight bout between Jonathan Riley and Taylor Mafileo. The largest age discrepancy on this card, 13 years, will fly by way of Mafileo at 33 years of age. Jonathan Riley, 5 inches taller, standing 6'3". Mafileo weighing in at 184.5 pounds. Riley weighing in at 182.5 pounds. Riley makes his debut as Taylor Mafileo back after 4 years with a 500 record of 1-1. Tight ship of talented prospects over at Origins Combatives in northern Idaho is Jonathan Riley. Believes a finish will be in the imminent future for this one. We will have to see how it plays out. And with that, we will await our man, Jackson Hooks.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by the Sandwich Tree. This fight is an amateur middleweight bout. It is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Nate Decker. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 1 win and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 184.5 pounds. Fighting out of Rise Boxing and Classic Fight Team, hailing from West Valley City, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Taylor Mafileo! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighed in at 154 pounds. Fighting out of Origins Combatives, hailing from Sandpoint, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Jonathan Riley!
Taylor Mafileo rocking the blue gloves. Origins Combatives Jonathan Riley in the red. This amateur middleweight bout is brought to you by the Sandwich Tree. Great sandwiches, great prices right here in Idaho Falls. The Sandwich Tree, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. A leg kick opens it up for Jonathan Riley. Taylor Mafileo, almost a carbon copy in terms of the movement, finds him on the chin. Jonathan Riley in a world of trouble, and that is it! Taylor Mafileo gets it done in the first!
Might be a little controversial early stoppage, but it did seem like Jonathan Riley was out of it.
Taylor Mafileo gets it done in under 20 seconds. And it looks like we are just about ready to prime our water and wellness replay.
All right, let's watch the replay right here.
This replay is brought to you by Water and Wellness. Caitlin, all yours.
All right, Taylor's just teeing off, and it looked like Jonathan Riley was still kind of there. He was reaching out, maybe going for a tie clinch, and then the ref stepped in.
An impactful performance and a career-defining one for Taylor Mafileo. He's going to move to 2-1. No judges' scorecards needed for this one. First round finish of 2024 will go to that man out of Rise Classic Fight Team in Park City. All right, with that, it looks like we are just about ready to make it official. Taylor Mafileo will move to 2-1. Jonathan Riley, unfortunately, not able to get it done in the debut. Here is Jackson Hooks.
Fierce fans, referee Nate Decker has called to stop this contest at 19 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Taylor Mafileo.
I'm here with your winner, Taylor. Taylor, you got it done in just seconds. How are you feeling right now?
Hey, you can boo all you want. I didn't stop the fight. I would have liked to keep going until I dropped him. Thank you, Jonathan. You got a long road ahead of you. I appreciate you taking the fight. But, you know, it is what it is.
Did you feel like it was an early stoppage, or do you feel like that was a fair stoppage?
They saved him from a trip to the hospital, but that's it. You know what I mean? I would have fucked him up. Real easy.
I can appreciate that. And do you have any sponsors, families, or friends, or shout-outs that you want to give?
Hey, I don't have a sponsor, but Water and Wellness, you should be my first one. Really want that sponsorship. Thank you, Marco Sanchez. He's the best coach in Utah and beyond. He's my brother, he's my family. Thank you to the champ, Kent Mafileo. Hey, if you want to see more violence, maybe a longer fight, not an early stoppage, come on down to West Valley, February 10th. Watch the King do his thing.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Taylor.
All right, we see the group over at Rise Classic Fight Team, Marco Sanchez, MG Valinga, the Mafileo brothers, all three of them here in Idaho Falls to see his brother do work. And he did just that. Caitlin, he looked incredible in there. Quick work.
Definitely quick work. I mean, he did look like he did have Jonathan Riley hurt. Could the fight have gone on longer? Yeah, probably, but I think we would have gotten the same story.
Your thoughts on just Taylor Mafileo? Do you think that he will be back, and do you think that he's going to continue and we won't have to wait another 4 years before we see him again?
I mean, you put so much work into these fights. I hope we see him back quick. Maybe have him fight on the next card in a couple weeks, right? He didn't get hurt. He didn't take any damage, and he's in the peak of his fight career right now. So we really need to see him back soon so he doesn't take a 4-year leave again.
The more Mafileo, the better, but we are about ready to get two more amateur welterweights, Chris Ventura and Dustin Ireland, primed to make the walk. Jackson Hoops is going to bring them out right now.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Payette Brewing Company. As our official beer sponsor, Payette Brewing Company is proud to be grown and brewed in Idaho for 13 years. Quality craft beer that has filled tackle boxes, pockets of skiers, raft trip coolers, and campfire gatherings since 2011. They are a husband and wife team. They're right back there. They are a husband and wife team joined by a community of beer makers and beer lovers on a mission to make something worth sharing, while also making an impact in the community through the Payette Forward program. They offer a wide variety of beer on tap in their tap room and beer garden. Payette Brewing Company, a staple destination for the community. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Chris Ventura and then Dustin Ireland to the cage.
First walk to the cage, but years of anticipation precede it. Enter Chris Ventura. Caitlin, a handful of years into training alongside Marco Sanchez as a reliable resource, all signs point to potential success for the 23-year-old.
I started working on striking a little bit with Marco recently, and he is an awesome coach. I think Chris is in good hands working with him, and he will definitely be ready for his debut.
Though the MMA debut, he does have a Muay Thai and boxing background. 2 fights under Muay Thai rules, most recently in August of 2022. As for boxing, he also has a fight back in June of last year, but makes his MMA debut here tonight as he embraces his head coach, Marco Sanchez. Speaking of Marco Sanchez, has been at the helm of his growth in combat sports. Sanchez 3-2 as a head coach with Fierce since June of 2023 when he took over for the camp of Kent Mafileo. Chris Ventura talked to me a little bit, believes stance switches and feints could be Chris's secret weapon. Caitlin, your thoughts on Chris and his ability. Have you spent any time in the room with him?
I have spent a little bit of time in the room with him, but I didn't pay much attention to him because I was training myself. But from what I hear is that he has phenomenal striking. He just needs to work on takedown defense, and he is comfortable on the ground if it does go there, but I think he'll have the striking for the whole fight.
Well, slowly rising the ranks of the MMA scene in Idaho is Half Gracie's Dustin Ireland. Caitlin, it wasn't an easy one last June, but his grappling gave him gain with a win and a boost in morale headed into walk number 3.
I mean, props to Dustin for getting back into the cage after a loss in his first amateur fight, then pulling out a win in his second fight. I don't think people understand how difficult that can be to still believe in your capabilities, starting off your career with a loss.
Dustin Ireland fighting back in June of 2023. He won that fight via split decision over Brandon Eisenman. Had 2 minutes of back control time during that fight. Grappling has certainly been the #1 option for the fighter out of Half Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. 5-2 in jiu-jitsu tournaments since his last fight. Let's pull up that tail of the tape presented by Water and Wellness for this amateur welterweight bout. Dustin Ireland versus Chris Ventura. Chris Ventura, the younger fighter by 8 years, but also has the height advantage at 2 inches, standing 5'10". Ireland weighing in at 169 pounds. Ventura weighing in at a flat 168. Ireland with a record of 1-1. Ventura makes his MMA debut right now.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Payette Brewing Company, our official beer sponsor. This fight is an amateur welterweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Nate Decker. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing in at 168 pounds. Fighting out of Rise Boxing and Classic Fight Team, hailing from West Valley City, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Chris Ventura! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 1 win and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Half Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Idaho Falls, hailing from Idaho Falls. Fierce fans, make some noise for Dustin Ireland!
Visiting Chris Ventura in the blue gloves, Idaho Falls local Dustin Ireland in the red. This amateur welterweight bout is brought to you by Payette Beer. Boise born and raised, we've tapped into something good. Payette Beer, the official beer of Fierce FC. Ventura, high octane striking early. Gets a big pop from the crowd as well.
His boxing does look really crisp right now. He's using his feints well, and I think he's just overwhelming Dustin.
Some grazing head kicks already thrown for Ventura as Ireland smacks a leg kick for his own. Beautiful sprawl as well.
I think Dustin realizes he needs to get it to the ground.
A thudding kick to the body, as well as Ireland now closes the distance and puts Ventura up against the cage.
Ventura is doing a good job. He just grabbed that whizzer. Ireland has great head position right here. Good control, nice uppercut.
A couple of power shots landed for Ireland as he teeps out. Ventura separates. Back on the chin he goes. The target is perfect. Crisp as can be. It's Chris Ventura getting it done in the debut.
That was a clean striking combination by Chris Ventura.
Chris Ventura, an A-plus performance. Seamless as can be for the 23-year-old.
I mean, his striking is phenomenal. He does not look like an 0-0 athlete right now.
We're trying to get the replay, unsure if we're going to be able to get it. Looks like we actually will take it. This replay is brought to you by Water and Wellness. Caitlin, it's all yours.
Right here, Chris lands a good 1-2. Stuns Dustin a little bit. Finishes up with a couple hooks, a knee right to the body, drops him, and finishes with some mean strikes on top before the ref steps in. Beautiful finish by Chris Ventura.
Didn't realize it, but we got a little bit of blood coming from Chris Ventura. Will not matter as he's going to move to 1-0. Fired up and getting a couple of words of praise by the fans. Also, a quick message. We don't have a mic on that camera or else we would be telling you what he's saying, but Chris Ventura looks like a new name on the map. With that, it looks like we are just about ready to make this one official. As we see Chris Ventura with Marco Sanchez. Unsure of what's being said, but we do have a little bit of a delay in terms of making it official. Looks like the commission is going to check out the replay one more time. We're going to kick it over to that once we get it all queued up once again, and I'm sure we will pull it up during the post-fight interview as well. We see Dustin Ireland, a valiant performance, closed the distance, landed a couple of great shots himself, but unable to get the win here. Chris Ventura is going to move to 1-0. All right, we have the replay now. We're going to show it for the commission as well as those watching at home and here in the Mountain America Center in Idaho Falls. We see the Whizzer. The separation. The calling controversy looks like it might be if it was a knee landed. Unsure of what the commission is going to decide on this one. Kind of close. Unsure of what we're going to decide for this one. It looks like we're going to run it one more time. Again, the Idaho State Athletic Commission needs to look at this, unsure of if Chris Ventura landed an illegal knee to the head. So with that,
thank you, fans, for the patience. Hang in there. We're just getting a decision going. Hang tight. Thank you for your patience.
We see Zach Partridge talking a little bit with Dustin Ireland, trying to explain the situation and what's going on. We will see. We're getting another set of eyes on this one. All from the Athletic Commission surrounding the broadcast booth. We will see what the fate is for this fight at 170 pounds. We're going slow motion now.
He almost pulled his head down.
It's that knee right there. If it connected on the chin, it will be turned to a no contest, depending on what the commission decides. If not, Chris Ventura will be the victor by first round finish. All love between Jackson Hoops and Chris Ventura as well. A dominant performance, to say the least, no matter what the outcome will be, but still some deliberation to be made. For right now, we are just going to lay out up until the Idaho State Athletic Commission makes a decision.
All right, here we go, Fierce fans. Fighters to the center of the cage. Fierce fans, referee Nate Decker has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 18 seconds of the very first round due to an unintentional knee to the face and the fighter being unable to continue. This fight has been declared a no contest. Give it up for these two fighters, however. Make some noise, everybody. Thank you for your patience while we make that decision.
All right, welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 29, presented by Water and Wellness. Blake O'Rulean alongside Caitlin Neal. And Caitlin, it has been an off night for the judges, for the commissions. It's been tough.
Yeah, definitely. I would not want to be a fighter tonight, leaving it in the hands of the ref or the judges. It seems like it's definitely been off.
Your thoughts on Chris Ventura? I mean, it truly was dominant, and he seems like a special fighter. Let's pull up the replay one more time, and if we could, let's get it in slow motion. Because, Caitlin, I do want to pick your brain about this. What are you seeing?
When I watched the replay back the second time, I saw clearly the chest. But if we could just see it in slow motion.
It's a close call.
I don't know. It looks like there's a glove covering it. I don't know. It looks like it could have landed on the chest. It could have landed on the chin. Either way, Chris Ventura definitely has a good and bright future ahead of him. His striking is absolutely phenomenal.
Every shot drew a reaction out of Dustin Ireland. It will be fun to see what the future holds for Chris Ventura. With that, we've got two bantamweights waiting in the wings, and we're going to kick it over to Jackson Hoops for it right now.
Here's fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by Willie's Distillery. They are right behind me over there as our official liquor sponsor. Willie's Distillery is a veteran-owned small batch distillery location in the heart of Ennis, Montana. Every bottle tells a story of community, craftsmanship, and a genuine connection to the land we call home. Each sip is a tribute to the tapestry of local agriculture, a salute to the artisans who contribute to the craft, and an invitation to become part of the story that unfolds with every pour. This evening, they are providing tastings of their famous Devil's Brigade whiskey right upstairs at the Sky Deck and down on the floor right behind me. Willie's Distillery is more than a place, it's an experience. Cheers to the spirits of the American West. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Nate Reinhardt and then John Smith to the cage.
A big step up, but clearly qualified for it, is Nate Reinhardt. Caitlin, we saw some stark improvements in his second fight, over 5.5 minutes of control time in a 7-minute bout. He goes from a debuter to an amateur veteran here tonight.
Nate is definitely a gamer and has shown a lot of potential in his 2 amateur fights. I'm excited to watch how this one plays out for him tonight. I'm expecting some good striking here from the fighter out of Wasatch Combat.
So when it comes to Nate Reinhardt, his second fight was his win over Dustin Larson. That was back in April of 2023. In that fight, landed 5 of 6 takedowns. Again, in 7 minutes and 7 seconds, had 5 minutes and 35 seconds of control time. That accounted for 78% of the fight, where Nate Reinhardt was in a dominant position in which he was controlling Dustin Larson. I mean, his grappling was superb in that fight, Caitlin.
Yeah, definitely. He has great grappling, great striking. I think he's just a well-rounded martial artist.
Nate Reinhardt certainly looking for some more consistency in the schedule in 2024. 3 canceled bouts in 2023 in March, September, and also October. Finally able to make his third walk. It has been a frustrating last couple of months, but finally with his music blaring, will enter the cage in a moment's notice. Nate Reinhardt, first fight against a non-debuting fighter in John Smith. John Smith with 10 fights. He goes from 2 debuters in Pedro Alcantara and Dustin Larson to now facing someone with 10 fights, Caitlin.
Yeah, definitely. I think John Smith, I mean, his record's 2-8, so he does have the cage experience, but I think Nate Reinhardt might have the skill.
We will have to see how it all plays out. Nate Reinhardt in, John Smith waiting to enter right now. Well, 2023 yielded less than optimal results, but hopes of a brighter 2024 begin right now for John Smith. Caitlin, no days off for the 29-year-old. He averages a fight every 67 days dating back to February of 2022 for a total of 9 fights in under 2 years.
Staying that active as a fighter can either give you a huge advantage so you feel more comfortable in the cage, or it can take kind of a toll on you and lead to burnout. So I'm interested to see what we will be getting from John Smith tonight.
John Smith north of 1 year since his last win, but before we do anything else with John Smith, let's pull up that tail of the tape presented by Water and Wellness for this amateur bantamweight bout. Smith, 6-year senior to Reinhardt, also will have the height advantage by 2 inches, standing 5'11". Smith weighing in at 134.5 pounds, Reinhardt weighing in at 135 pounds flat. John Smith with a record of 2-8, a little bit more well-traveled there. Nate Reinhardt with a 500 record of 1-1. John Smith, a heap of formidable foes across his amateur career. 5 of his 8 losses have come to #1 contenders or future champions. Jared Melton, Kevin Guo, David Kim, and a flurry of others. Making the walk once again is John Smith. And with that, we're going to get things going with Jackson Hooks.
Liquor sponsor. This fight is an amateur bantamweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tom Sutnet. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 1 win and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Risa-Roni Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Spider Monkey Muay Thai, hailing from Orem, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Nate Reinhardt. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 8 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 134 1/2 pounds. Fighting as an independent fighter, hailing from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for John Smith.
Long-awaited return for Nate Reinhardt in the blue gloves, the well-traveled John Smith in the red. This amateur bantamweight bout is brought to you by Willie's Distillery. It's more than a place, it's an experience. Willie's Distillery, the official liquor of Fierce FC.
John, a little bit more active in the first minute.
Reinhardt landed clean on the chin as Smith closes the distance. 5 of John's 8 losses have come by submission, but we see him endorsing some grappling between the two.
John Smith has good pressure up against the cage.
John Smith, all wins have been by decision.
Nate Reinhardt with the switch. Now he's pressing John Smith back against the cage.
John Smith, fluid in those knees up the middle. One of those is the one that hurt David Kim when they fought back in March of last year. Reinhardt privy to that one and returns a knee up the middle of his own in the clinch. They separate and go back to the center of the cage. Nice inside leg kick landed by Reinhardt. Reinhardt.
Nice combination into the double leg, and he gets the takedown on John Smith.
A flashy level change finds Reinhardt in a dominant position. John Smith wrapped up over the top, but not necessarily a lot of offense from there, Caitlin.
No, definitely not what he wants to be doing. He probably wants to be pushing away, looking to stand back up.
Reinhardt over those knees. Those knees are certainly an important spot for Reinhardt to remain in this dominant position, Caitlin. 30 seconds to go.
Definitely. John Smith needs to get his knees to the mat to be able to stand up or switch positions. So it's smart of him to try to hold those up in the air and shelf them. And it looks like John Smith is back up to his feet.
Reinhardt looked like he was nearing a back chase, but they find themselves back upright.
Oh.
Reinhardt now picking at the ankle, peppering a few shots as we head into the waning moments of round 1. An interesting round 1. Those first 3 minutes saw good moments for John Smith, but you do have to think Reinhardt with that takedown and as well as some more control time, Caitlin.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like John Smith is a little bit more of a gamer. He's throwing. He's pushing the pace a little bit more. But once Nate Reinhardt does gain his confidence and land combinations, they're really clean and smooth.
We see Casey Wilkinson as well as Reese in his corner. Your thoughts on what they might be saying to him headed into round number 2, Caitlin?
Probably just put those combinations together, get that takedown again, and maintain top control. I think that would be a good game plan for Nate Reinhardt.
Nate Reinhardt's first fight was in May of 2022. He was more of a striker in that first one, and that stemmed from originally being a golfer. He found his way to MMA through boxing years ago in Florida, but has turned himself into a much more well-rounded fighter, and we saw the grappling dominate throughout the second fight. Third fight, it's still up for grabs as to what the tone will be, but it looks to be set in the next 3 minutes between these two. Little slip there. John Smith catching the foot.
Oh. Is it a low blow?
Looks like we've got a low blow.
It's kind of a late reaction. A little delayed.
I don't know if it picked up in the microphone, but we hear John Smith say, "I'm good." We go right back to the action. Fast twitched kicks up the middle for Smith, the lone independent fighter on this card here tonight. Made a beautifully placed counter strike, closes the distance once again and looks to bring Smith down to the canvas. He will.
Nate's doing a good job controlling this position. It looks like he's trying to pass either into full mount.
Reinhardt also in his own corner, right up against his team out in Orem, Utah.
John Smith is just a scrambly little fighter. He's hard to control right there.
Couple of punishing shots to the body and now the head for Reinhardt. John Smith durable as they come, but Reinhardt mixing it up well.
Those shots were able to get him into the mount position. John Smith is just covering up right here.
Putting on the pressure. Nate Reinhardt is headed home with a W, another one for the fighter out of Orem, Utah.
He did a good job using his punches to go into mount, get that control, and then finish with a TKO.
Back-to-back wins for Nate Reinhardt by TKO. His last one in April was in the third round. This one, not paid by the hour, gets it done in the second. And Nate Reinhardt, his stock continues to rise. Him alongside the current bantamweight champion of Fierce FC, Jackson DeGray, teammates. It looks like we are just about ready for this replay presented by Water and Wellness.
So right here, John Smith kind of had this shield up with his leg. Nate Reinhardt is using those punches to get the pass into full mount. And then John Smith just shells up, and it gives Nate Reinhardt the finish.
There it is, another win for Nate Reinhardt, and we're going to make it official with Jackson Hoops right now.
Fans, referee Tom Sutnet has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 31 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by TKO, Nate Reinhardt.
I'm here with your winner, Nate Reinhardt. Nate, how are you feeling right now?
Really good.
Really good, a man of many words.
I know, it's a deep sigh just because I've had five fights canceled in a row since my last fight last year. So it's a long time coming, but I'm happy it's right now in January so we can hit the ground running the rest of the year.
Totally. Let's take a replay back and look at your work and kind of talk us through this. Just kidding. Do you have any sponsors, friends, or family you'd like to thank?
No, I'm on the best team. Jeez, definitely in Utah, probably in Idaho too, with Reese Hall and Casey Wilkinson. Best team. We got the best guys. So, me and Jackson DeGray just meeting each other up. So, just happy for the team.
Well, it was a pleasure watching your fight tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner.
Welcome to Che. During our traditional Brazilian service, you'll get to choose and choose again from among fresh salads, hot side dishes, authentic desserts, and over 12 different grilled meat options carved just for you by our gauchos. Grab your plate and get going. The whole Che menu is yours for the taking, whenever you want, as many times as you want. No need to wait for your favorites to come around. Go for exactly what you're craving. Learn more at chegrill.com. That's TCHE grill.com.
All right, welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 29, presented by Water and Wellness. Caitlin, Nate Reinhardt looked really good in there, more of the same of what we saw in April. It seems like he continues to improve.
Totally, but he did not seem excited about that win at all. He just seemed like very like, well, all right, I went in there, I did it. But I'm super proud of him for getting back in there after all those fights falling out. That can be so frustrating. So it's good to see him getting his hand raised after all of that.
I will say this, Nate Reinhardt is one of the nicest guys in the whole world, but he is also one of the calmest, coolest, most collected people you will ever meet. Congratulations to Nate Reinhardt as we will move into our prelim headliner between two more Idaho natives. Michael Lazalde making the walk against Preston Carlson at 155 pounds. Jackson Hoops is going to bring him out right now.
All right, Fierce fans, let's keep this thing going. We got one more fight until the intermission happens, and it's our final bout of the preliminary card, and it is sponsored by the Buzz Factory. As our host for the weigh-ins last night and our host for the after party tonight, the Buzz Factory is East Idaho's newest high-end social club, providing unlimited access to their true golf simulators, VIP karaoke lounges, self-pour tap wall, and more. Shoot some pool, throw some darts, play some cornhole, or play a round of their drinking game, putter ball. Be sure to channel your inner rock star this evening and head on over to the after party tonight at 751 South Capitol, right here in Idaho Falls at the Buzz Factory. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Michael Lazalde and then Preston Carlson to the cage.
All right, more of the same. Fighters now making it to the walk. Looks like we've got Michael Lazalde in here, and following a fairly flawless debut back in the Mountain America Center is Michael Lazalde. Caitlin, he's up 10 pounds, but that preparation seems premeditated, certainly bigger and stronger than he was a year ago.
You know, going up 10 pounds can really play to your favor when done correctly. Sometimes big weight cuts can really mess with the fighter's performance. So we will see if we get a more powerful Michael Lazalde out there.
Michael Lazalde out of Guerrilla Unit MMA, a group of fighters branched off from Ruthless MMA who have been on these Fierce FC cards in the past over the last 11 months. Michael Lazalde claims to have added north of 20 pounds of muscle since his last fight. We will have to see how it fares for him in this one. And again, Caitlin, he was flawless in that TKO of Tim Wrench. last February. We will have to see how he has leveled up since that time.
Yeah, that will definitely be interesting to see what these 20 pounds have on him.
Michael Lazalde got back into training around August of 2023. He took some time void of MMA training, but been consistent since, and now makes his second walk within a year. All right, 11 months away, but back to business is Lewis Martial Arts' Preston Carlson. Caitlin, a first-round submission in his debut leads him to a step up in competition against another 1-0 foe like himself.
Yeah, I absolutely hate this saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Someone's O has got to go, so we will see if Preston can get another submission victory.
Preston Carlson, a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, been training jiu-jitsu for 4.5 years, but also have trails of Kempo karate while growing up as well. Let's pull up that tail of the tape presented by Water and Wellness for this amateur lightweight bout between Preston Carlson and Michael Lazalde. Lazalde, 6-year senior at 25 years of age. Carlson, 3 inches taller. Carlson weighing in at 154.5 pounds. Lazalde weighing in 1 pound under that at 153.5 pounds. Carlson with a record of 1-0. Michael Lazalde matches it for these two fighters, putting their undefeated records on the line.
All right, Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by the Buzz Factory, our official hosts of tonight's after party. This fight is an amateur lightweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tom Supnet. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an undefeated amateur record of 1 win and 0 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 153.5 pounds. Fighting out of Guerrilla Unit MMA, hailing from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Michael Lazalde. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, also holding an undefeated amateur record of 1 win and 0 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 154.5 pounds. Fighting out of Lewis Martial Arts and Foley's MMA, hailing from Shelley, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Preston Carlson.
Back in the Hero Arena is Michael Lazalde in the blue gloves. Following suit is Preston Carlson, who counters in the red. This amateur lightweight bout is brought to you by the Buzz Factory, Idaho's newest high-end social club, and the host of the Fierce FC 29 after party here tonight in Idaho Falls. The Buzz Factory, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Lazalde lands a couple right up top to bring in round number 1. Steady, unending movement for the fighter out of Guerrilla Unit MMA.
Preston just landed a couple of his own.
Lazalde moving all over. Lands one pretty crisply on the chin. Carlson on the back foot thus far. Nice inside leg kick also by Lazalde.
Lazalde is so hard to get a read on. His punches are coming from all different angles.
Preston Carlson landed a takedown in the first 50 seconds of his last fight. You've got to wonder if he will initiate some sort of grappling with the offensive pressure of Lazalde. We go back and forth and a pop from the crowd.
It looks like Preston caught Lazalde with something there. Landed a nice couple knees to the body. Lazalde flipped that around and pressed Preston up against the cage.
The muscle mass advantage certainly flies by way of Lazalde, but Preston Carlson able to land a few. Knees up the middle, and now punching his way out.
Ooh, I think a
of
mouth
the clinch.
guard just.
It looked like for a second Lazalde had lost a little bit of his wits, but right back to it we go, halfway through round number 1. A big one landed by Carlson. That one was crisp. It looked like it hurt Lazalde. Now chasing the back is the Jiu-Jitsu blue belt.
And I think this is where Preston wants it. He wants his back. He wants to slow things down a little bit, take it more at his pace, control the wildness of Lazalde.
Carlson's first win was a guillotine in under 2 minutes. He chases the back now in the final seconds of round number 1.
He's looking for that hangman, which is basically a rear naked choke with no hooks in standing. Oh, he just threw his hook in.
There it is! Another win for Preston Carlson, the second for the submission specialist.
Impressive win by Preston Carlson. Way to control the wildness of Michael Lazalde. Come out with a submission win.
My guy Zach Partridge walking by me right now saying, wow, wow, wow. That's about all you can say for Preston Carlson. All love in his corner as he gets a second first-round finish by submission. We're going to jump over to this replay presented by Water and Wellness. We see Carlson chase the back. That was where he needed to get. Able to create a little bit of space. And as Caitlin said, he didn't have the hooks in at first. Once he did, that was all she wrote. Preston Carlson fought for a bit here, but able to get it, locks it up. And Lazalde was in a world of trouble from this point forward. The tight squeeze, submission, now position. And Preston Carlson is 2-0. With that, we're going to take it over to our man, Jackson Hoops, to make it official.
Fierce fans, referee Tom Supnet has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 24 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke. Out of the red corner, Preston Carlson.
I'm here with your winner, Preston. How does it feel to get your second win here tonight, also by submission?
Oh, it's a dream. I love this sport so much. Believe it.
And what was your game plan going into this fight? Was it to take it to the ground and look for a submission, or did you want to strike?
Well, I wanted to strike, but I couldn't outstrike this guy. I just had to weather the storm and find a point to break him down and get that choke going.
Well, you did a good job weathering that storm. Do you have any sponsors or friends or family you'd like to thank?
No, I want to thank my family and my wonderful wife, Sadie.
Awesome job tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner.
All right, back on the horse in enemy territory. Enter Dietrich Jessup. Caitlin, not an ideal fall for the flyweight. A canceled bout in September, a loss in October, but can certainly boost his stock with a win over his toughest test yet in Christian Cortez.
Yeah, that's definitely not an ideal fall for Jessup. Hopefully, he used that loss and canceled bout to really fuel him for this fight, because this will be his biggest test yet.
Dietrich Jessup's supposed to fight Cortez last September, but Cortez dropped off due to weight-cutting issues the day before the fight. We see him right now with his team out of Vigilante Academy. Teague Vigil, most recently getting a win back in November, a huge comeback victory for him, and now Dietrich Jessup's turn once again. Jessup been slated for 3 of the last 4 Fierce shows. Did not fight in September, as forementioned, but his first fight outside of the state of Utah, his 4th since October of 2022, We will have to see how things play out, but it seems like guillotines seem to follow this guy. Every single fight, win or lose, has ended that way, Caitlin.
Yeah, guillotine's a little sneaky choke, so whether you can put it on or hopefully defend it, you can just sneak those in there.
All right, a big stage and a bigger shot for Ralph Gracie's Christian Cortez. Caitlin, the #1 flyweight in the state of Utah, top 20 in the entire West Coast. He's yet to face defeat. One more, and he could stamp his ticket to a title.
This kid has a lot of potential, and he definitely deserves a shot at the title if he brings home another W tonight.
Christian Cortez, first fight in the state of Idaho, though he does train out of Ralph Gracie's right here in Idaho Falls. A jiu-jitsu blue belt as of recent, and all of his last 3 wins have come by submission. His other win was by decision. That was back at his debut in March of 2019. Averages about 1 fight per year. We get the pleasure of having him to kick off our main card. With that, let's pull up our tail of the tape presented by Water and Wellness. Christian Cortez facing off against Dietrich Jessup. Jessup 10 years younger than Cortez, both identical in height. Cortez weighing in at 125 pounds flat. Jessup weighing in at 123.5. Christian Cortez puts his undefeated record on the line. Dietrich Jessup with a record of 2-1.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Farmhouse Realty Group. This is an amateur flyweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Nate Decker. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 123.5 pounds. Fighting out of the Vigilante Academy, hailing from Layton, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Dietrich Jessup! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an undefeated amateur record of 4 wins and 0 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing in at 125 pounds. Fighting out of Ralph Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Idaho Falls, hailing from Idaho Falls. Fierce fans, make some noise for Christian Cortez!
Another rep for the credentialed Dietrich Jessup in the blue gloves. Undefeated Christian Cortez stands opposite in the red. This amateur flyweight bout is brought to you by Farmhouse Realty Group, providing the highest level of trust, communication, and service in the state of Idaho. Farmhouse Realty Group, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Both flyweights open up with a couple of kicks. Dietrich Jessup pulling that one out of his bag of tricks early. Slapping leg kick landed by Cortez as he utilizes a few more for Jessup. Another couple of big shots by Cortez, throwing with intention.
Both of these fighters are really scrappy, and Cortez is landing a lot of really good shots right now.
Dietrich fires back to the body as Cortez looks to clinch.
Cortez with the takedown.
Jessup on bottom, but a nice scramble finds Jessup now to the top.
Both of these fighters are so explosive.
Huge ground and pound landed by Jessup in a prime position, and now looks to wrap up the choke. Fighting the hands well and privy to it is Cortez.
Jessup did not hesitate at all to take the back of Christian Cortez. Christian Cortez is doing a good job walking his feet up the cage, trying to get out of that back control, which he did. What?
Now punishing the body, and that is it! Dietrich Jessup bounces back with the biggest win of his career. It looks like there's an injury in the side of Cortez.
Was that a body shot from the ground that finished that? I missed that part.
Jessup was ground and pounding the body.
Did he just get him right on the liver in the right spot?
It was either a liver shot or it might be a rib. I am very curious of what it is.
Hopefully there's no lungs punctured here in case if it is a rib.
We're going to take it over to our water and wellness replay to see.
All right, so Jessup throwing some mean shots right here. But, oh, he got a tap. It looks like a rib did probably pop out of place because that is not a normal place to tap unless you're in a severe amount of pain.
Certainly an anticlimactic way to close it, but nonetheless, Dietrich Jessup absolutely answers the bell and is going to move to 3-1, a huge bounce back preceded by a tough battle against the #1 flyweight in the state of Utah. We see him listening to the words of his head coach, Teague Vigil. They have been together for nearly 2 years. Certainly the two trust each other to the highest degree, and right now we are going to make it official and get some clarity to the stoppage with Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, referee Nate Decker has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 28 seconds of the very first round due to a tap out for an injury, declaring the winner by TKO, Dietrich Jessup.
I'm here with your winner, Dietrich Jessup. Dietrich, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good right now, yeah.
Pretty good or amazing?
Yeah, I'm feeling amazing, yeah.
Good, I'm glad you're feeling amazing. How about we take a look back at that stoppage and maybe walk us through it and what you were thinking during that time?
I was trying to go for the rear naked right here, and then I heard my corner saying get on top and start doing some ground and pound. So I started doing that, and then he tapped to the something with his rib, so. Yeah.
Tap to the something with his rib. Gotcha. All right, well, do you have any friends, families, sponsors that you'd like to give a shout out to?
I want to thank my team, Vigilante Academy. I want to thank One Hit MMA for helping me in this camp. I want to thank some Syracuse wrestlers in the high school out there. So thank you guys. You helped me a lot in this camp. I want to thank my family and my friends. And yeah, I love you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Dietrich Jessup.
Who's ready for a title fight? Who's ready?
All right, welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 29, presented by Water and Wellness. And everyone, welcome in to the pay-per-view. If you came over from YouTube, we are so glad that you are here. Dietrich Jessup getting the win, a first-round finish. Not the way he necessarily wanted it to go, but still got a win over the #1 flyweight in the entire state of Utah.
And I feel like he deserved it too. Those shots that he was landing were huge. Like, they were definitely doing damage. I'm sure it wasn't the way he wanted to finish due to injury, but I mean, maybe he caused that injury, so it was well deserved.
Let's pull it up really quick one more time so that we could see it, Caitlin. he kind of broke it down for you a little bit. I'm wondering if you could just give us a little bit more clarity as well on what you're seeing.
Yeah, so right here, he's moving into mount. He's starting to land some nasty shots. And then I almost wonder if Cortez was just, he did land a couple body shots right there, and he got the tap. Or maybe Cortez was scrambling around and a rib popped out. I don't know if a rib was bothering Cortez leading up to this fight, and he kind of knew that that was going to be an injury leading into this fight, or if those body shots caused that.
Shot out of a cannon nonetheless for Christian Cortez as well.
Definitely, yeah. He definitely has a lot of potential.
All right, well, we are going to move over to our cruiserweight title bout between Spencer Woodland and Viliami Kulu. We got a lot to talk about with them, but before that, we got to bring him out. Jackson Hoops is ready to get us primed for it right now.
Fierce fans, our first title fight of the evening is sponsored by Gold's Gym, Idaho Falls. A membership to the #1 fitness center in Idaho Falls gives you access to everything you need to transform your life. They have state-of-the-art amenities, a variety of classes, and the world's best trainers. Stop in and experience change with Gold's Gym, Idaho Falls. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Viliami Kulu and then Spencer Woodland to the cage.
Fresh off of a 39-second knockout and sliding into another title fight opportunity is Viliami Kulu. Caitlin, a myriad of rankings for the top-tier talent. #7 light heavyweight in the country, #1 in the state of Utah. Only thing missing is a title, which he contests for right now.
Kulu has the skill, he has the athleticism, and he has the work ethic. I'm really excited to see if he can take advantage of this opportunity.
Now, we will mention it on the tail of the tape, but Viliami Kulu will have a sizable weight disadvantage. Kulu barely makes 205, tipped the scales last night at 212.5, just being able to be eligible for this fight. But we will see how he fares. He has been dominant throughout the entirety of his amateur career, went 3-1 in 2023. His only loss was to the #1 fighter in the entire country, Viliami Kulu, making the walk once again. Caitlin, when you think about his performances over the last 12 months or even 18 months, what's one that sticks out to you?
I mean, just overall watching Kulu, I think he's a very skilled and technical fighter, and I really like watching that. I think the only thing that holds him back a little bit is maybe his cardio, so hopefully he'll be able to push the pace for all 5 rounds.
Viliami Kulu, the #7 amateur lightweight on the West Coast, jumped 10 spots since his last fight following his first round finish of Caden Bentley. Two wins, 2 finishes for a total of 53 seconds aids in the argument for Spencer Woodland to contest for a belt here tonight. Caitlin, he called for a big name last June. Asking you shall receive. Viliami Kulu comes out of the pack.
I mean, be careful what you ask for, right? Honestly, I think Spencer Woodland has a skill and he has the ability to take it home tonight. And hopefully he has the mindset going into this fight to really pull off the win.
All right, well, we have a little bit of an obstructed view on that lower third of Spencer Woodland. Let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape so that we can see it for the amateur cruiserweight title bout between Spencer Woodland and Viliami Kulu. Kulu, 4 years senior as well as 2 inches taller. Woodland weighing in at 223.5 pounds. Viliami Kulu, as aforementioned, weighing in at 212.5 pounds. Woodland with a record of 2-1. More well-traveled is Viliami Kulu at 5-2. Spencer Woodland, a big step up here tonight. His first non-debuting opponent, but a jiu-jitsu purple belt, and had that slick finish back in June of last year's.
Definitely. Spencer Woodland's jiu-jitsu is not something to take lightly. I hope Viliami Kulu has really been working on his submission defense so he can really put on a good fight tonight.
All right, with that, we are going to get this one started for this amateur cruiserweight title bout. Jackson Hoops, take it away.
Fierce fans, this title fight, is sponsored by Gold's Gym, Idaho Falls. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Nate Decker. This fight is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds for the Fierce Fighting Championship Amateur Cruiserweight title. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 5 wins and 2 losses. He stands 6 feet, 3 inches tall, and weighing at 212 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Stoneman Boxing and Wasatch Combat Sports. Hailing from Pleasant Grove, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Viliami Dark Knight Kulu. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet, 1 inches tall, and weighed in at 223 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Pack Jiu-Jitsu, hailing from Rexburg, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Spencer, the Rhino Woodland.
All right, yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch them up.
Heavy-handed Viliami Kulu back once again in the blue gloves. Submission specialist Spencer Woodland fitted in the red. This cruiserweight title bout is brought to you by Gold's Gym. Become the strongest version of you at Gold's Gym, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Viliami Kulu averaging a fight every 51 days, dating back to August of last year.
Both fighters just filling each other out for the first 30 seconds. And Spencer Woodland dives in for that takedown.
They call him a rhino for a reason. Little bit far out for the takedown. Kulu gets right back up to his feet.
Oh,
down is Woodland. And that's going to do it. Viliami Kulu takes on Idaho Falls and is going to take home a belt in the process.
Beautiful counter striking from Viliami Kulu on that.
All it took was one, and Viliami Kulu stamps for one of the top names in the entire country. Caitlin, before you head into the cage, we got to jump over to this replay. What a finish by Viliami Kulu. If we could get it in slow motion, that would be amazing to our incredible people in production.
So there was just a check counter hook right there, and then a flurry of punches. Spencer Woodland was diving in for the takedown, but Kulu was just countering that takedown with punches. Great timing on Viliami Kulu's part.
All right, we will get the slow motion version with Caitlin when she talks to Viliami Kulu. We will break that down with her. But Viliami Kulu is headed home with a Fierce FC championship belt. Unfortunate way for it to go for Spencer Woodland. Lots of love for them, and for taking on such a big name in Viliami Kulu. Spencer Woodland certainly looked impressive over the course of the last 11 months, and we hope to see him continue on. One shot is all it takes, and with that, Jackson Hoops is busy tonight. He's back in the cage.
Fierce fans, referee Nate Decker has called a stop to this contest at 32 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO and new Fierce Fighting Championship Cruiserweight Champion, Viliami Dark Knight Kulu.
I'm here with your winner, Viliami Kulu. How do you feel with that strap around your waist right now?
I feel like there's another improve. I need more than this, so yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look at the big screen, take a look at that finish, at your beautiful work, and walk us through that. How do you feel watching that back?
Oh yeah, I've been practicing those power every day in the back, the mids. So I deserve those powers. So put it.
It was beautiful counter striking on your part. Do you have any sponsors, friends, or family that you'd like to shout out?
Oh yeah, I give a shout out to my gym, Barrera, and shout out to Bloodlines, World of Wilderness. If you're not a member right now, shout out for all you guys. So.
One last question for you. What do you feel like is next for you? Do you want to go pro or do you want to defend your title?
I'm going pro next, so.
Nice, we'd love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Kulu.
Welcome to Che. During our traditional Brazilian service, you'll get to choose and choose again from among fresh salads, hot side dishes, authentic desserts, and over 12 different grilled meat options carved just for you by our gauchos. Grab your plate and get going. The whole Che menu is yours for the taking, whenever you want, as many times as you want. No need to wait for your favorites to come around. Go for exactly what you're craving. Learn more at chegrill.com. That's TCHE grill.com.
All right, welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 29 presented by Water and Wellness. Caitlin, as promised, we do now believe we have it in slow motion, so let's see it one more time. Biliami Kulu, the scintillating striking.
Here's that hook, that drop Spencer Woodland. Oh, and a nice cross. Spencer Woodland goes in for kind of like a shot just to save him a little bit, and then Kulu just finished with a little flurry of uppercuts right there, which all land right on the button.
Well, we will see him as a pro, but before he bowed out as an amateur, he had to get a belt, and he does so in emphatic fashion. Well, now we head over to our final two fights of the evening, our co-main event, a professional 180-pound catchweight bout between Idaho legend Kerry Latimer and Las Vegas' own Armandel Cameron. Jackson Hoops is ready to bring him out right now.
Fierce fans, this is your co-main event of the evening, and it is sponsored by Teton Toyota and Teton Volkswagen. As your community-focused car dealerships in Idaho Falls, their no-problem sales and service approach offers a straightforward, easy-to-do business process that puts their customers' needs first. Teton Auto Group is proud to help bring amazing entertainment to Idaho Falls while supporting the people they have had the great pleasure of working with. Check out their vehicles out here today on the floor, and make sure you stop by their dealerships at Teton Toyota and Teton Volkswagen. Fierce fans, make some noise for our co-main event as we welcome Kerry Latimer and then Armandel Cameron to the cage.
All right, well, 2.5 weeks' notice was more than enough time for a familiar face to the Idaho fight scene. Enter Kerry Latimer. Caitlin, nearly 15 years of fighting and still as active as when he began in 2009. His 54th walk commences as we speak.
You know, Kerry is definitely game for anything with that amount of fights. I'm not surprised he was willing to step up on 2.5 weeks' notice.
Kerry Latimer has fought 19 times since his opponent Armandel Cameron last made the walk. 2023 tied for the second most fights in a calendar year for Kerry with 7 fights. The most ever was 9 bouts back in 2019. Not to mention a BKFC fight last June in 2023 as well. He's as active as they come, and he certainly loves to get in there.
Yep, I'm glad he loves it. It seems like he has the heart for it. Hopefully he can get out there, improve his skill, and put on a good show tonight.
Kerry Latimer nearing the 15-year anniversary of his amateur debut back in March. First fight over 170 pounds since May of 2019. We will have to see how the man drill combat and combat sports fighter does here tonight. A seasoned veteran who has high goals of getting 100 fights in his MMA career. We will have to see how this plays out here tonight, Kalen. First time in Idaho and back after north of 1,600 days, enter Armandel Cameron. Caitlin, clearly a premeditated return. It's been all hands on deck for the syndicate welterweight to make it back after over 4 years away and a slew of canceled fights.
Definitely. He trains at Syndicate MMA in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I train at that gym also. I know he's in good hands. He has Will in his corner, and he also has one of the coaches there at Syndicate MMA. So he's in great hands, and I'm excited to see what he does here tonight.
A pair of fours tell the story. 4 canceled bouts during his hiatus, his first fight again since June of 2019, and also 4-0 when he is 180 pounds or more, dating back to his amateur as well as his professional days. With that, let's pull up our tale of the tape presented by Water and Wellness for this professional catchweight bout at 180 pounds. Kerry Latimer, 5-year senior. Armandel Cameron will have the height advantage at 2 inches, standing 5'10". Armandel Cameron weighing in at 179 pounds. Kerry Latimer weighing in at 178.5. Armandel with a record of 6-5. A little bit more tread on the tires for Kerry Latimer with a record of 14-39. We see the emphatic entrance to the cage. Yesterday at weigh-ins, he exclaimed when we called his name for the face-offs, "I am back." Said it a few times. Certainly excited, and we cannot wait to see what ensues between Armandel Cameron and Kerry Latimer. With that, let's take it over to our man, Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, this is your co-main event, and it is sponsored by Teton Toyota and Teton Volkswagen. This fight is a professional catchweight bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tom Supnet. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 14 wins and 39 losses. He stands 5'8", 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighed in at 178.5 pounds. Fighting out of Mandrill Fitness and Combat Academy, hailing from Pocatello, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Kerry, the Batterer Latimer. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 6 wins and 5 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing in at 179 pounds. Fighting out of Syndicate MMA, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Fierce fans, make some noise for Armandel Rude Boy Cameron.
Idaho's favorite, Kerry Latimer, in the blue gloves. Back after nearly 5 years away is Armandel Cameron in the red. This professional 180-pound catchweight bout is brought to you by Teton Toyota, your source for new and used Toyota cars. Teton Toyota, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
Cameron looking for that lead check hook.
In on the takedown early is Latimer.
And he solidified that takedown.
Armandel finds himself seated. Kerry Latimer looking to advance, but Armandel doing a good job maintaining the Idaho fighter.
Yeah, and he just passed into side control right here. He's doing a great job controlling Armandel on the ground. And he's landed a nice little elbow right there from side control.
Kerry Latimer mentioned to Zach Partridge yesterday that he was planning on winning this fight. He's not here just for an easy win.
He's getting a little overzealous in this position. I would love to see him sit his hips back a little bit and take the back instead of control in this high back control position.
Not necessarily setting anything up just yet, but Kerry Latimer does have 4 wins by submission, most recently in August of 2019.
It looks like he might be going for an armbar right here. He could lock up a triangle, a reverse triangle. He's extending Cameron's arm out.
Armandel able to escape and now finds himself in the dominant position. Punching his way through the guard of Kerry is the Las Vegas fighter.
Kerry's just shelling up right here. He needs to look to advance this position.
Armandel Cameron has not had a finish since July of 2014.
He just got his hooks in. He has a back control. He's looking to sneak in that choke. Maybe not.
Latimer valiant in the defenses thus far, but Cameron in a...
Kerry not even defending the choke. He doesn't seem like he's threatened by it at all. But he does have his chin tucked down.
Latimer been submitted by rear naked choke a handful of times. But Kerry doing a great job not giving him any position specifically to finish this fight, Caitlin.
Yeah, and he definitely wasn't fighting the choke at all. He wasn't really pulling on the gloves or anything, but he was able to work his way all the way back up to his feet.
Tripods over, and the Idaho crowd loves it. Kerry Latimer now doing a little bit more damage once again. We find ourselves in where we found our first grappling exchange just a few minutes ago.
It looks like Cameron is trying to lock up a guillotine right here.
Latimer been submitted 12 times in his professional career.
Nice knee from Kerry.
Kerry Latimer making this competitive and finds himself on top. Not the best position, but he's where he needs to be right now, Caitlin.
Yeah, it looks like he's working his way into a full mount. Cameron still has his knee shield in there.
Armandel Cameron never been finished. All 5 losses have been handed to him by decision as he now scrambles up to the top. Round and around we go, more of the same with less than a minute to go in round 1.
This fight is so back and forth. Nice knee to the thigh by Cameron. Mean shots. Kerry's just shelling up.
Official looks to be closing in the distance.
He needs to be scrambling a little bit more here.
Armandel Cameron peppering away. We've got 20 seconds to go, but it seems like it's going to be stopped. There it is, Armandel Cameron, his first finish since July of 2014. A huge one for the fighter out of Syndicate MMA.
That was a great back and forth fight between both fighters, but Cameron came out with the finish.
Armandel Cameron takes 1,600 days off. Not at his own merit. He wanted to be back. He had so many canceled bouts. Finally gets his opportunity and comes back with his first finish in nearly a decade. A huge win for Armandel Cameron. All smiles between him, his family, his friends, his corners. A huge moment, one of the highlights for his career. And Armandel Cameron is going to move to 7-5. As for Kerry Latimer, that unfortunately moves him to an extension of his losing streak that has certainly overstayed its welcome, but a valiant performance throughout the entirety of it. But right now, the moment belongs to that man with his corners, Armandel Cameron. Looks like we are just about ready to make it official. With that, we'll take it over to Jackson Hoops.
Here's fans. Referee Tom Sutnet has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes and 41 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Armandel Root Boy Cameron.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Armandel. Armandel, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's been 4.5 years since I've been in here. It's been a hard climb for me to get back. I moved to Vegas. I said, let me get one more push, baby. Here I am.
Well, welcome back. Is that how you thought the fight would play out in your mind leading up to it?
Well, I wanted to strike a little more, but he shot sooner than I anticipated. But I train my ground game all the time, so I just relaxed a little bit and just made it happen. Got back on top.
Awesome work on making it happen. Do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to all my family that's here. I appreciate y'all for coming and supporting me. All my family back in Milwaukee that's watching on the live stream. My new home, Las Vegas, Syndicate MMA. It's been great training there. I feel good, and I'm ready for the next, baby.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Armandel.
Make some noise. We got one more.
I know I'm going to get that win back.
3-0, 3 first-round finishes. I want a shot at the belt.
And whoever has that 155 belt got a big bomber on their hands.
This is my living room. That's my backyard. That's my kitchen. My house.
All right, 9 fights down, 1 more to go, and it is the highest coveted one. The professional bantamweight title is on the line between Yazin Haji and Michael Seir. Caitlin, this is the one everyone's been looking forward to.
Yep, the main event. Here we go.
Going to be a fun one. Yazin Haji, 7-2, a big win over Joel Haro last year in this very arena. Michael Seir, also a beautiful record of 5-1. Either one of those two fighters get a win here tonight, they could be on their way to the next big show.
Oh, definitely. This is definitely a fight that will lead them in the next promotion. It's been a long night, Blake. It's been a long night.
No worries
So
at all.
fun.
High stakes for sure. And you can cut the tension with a knife in here. With that, we might as well bring them out to let them battle it out. Jackson Hoops, here we go.
Fierce fans, this is your main event and final title bout of the evening, and it is sponsored by Che Brazilian Grill. They are a traditional gaucho grill where you get to try everything on the menu as many times as you want. Indulge in their fresh salads, hot side dishes, and authentic desserts. Then visit their gauchos for your fresh carved meat and take in the phenomenal experience of having the freedom to choose what to eat and when to eat it. Treat yourself to an incredible feast with an unmatched experience tailored to your preferences at Che Brazilian Grill. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Michael Seir and then Yazin Haji to the cage.
All right, here he is, the jiu-jitsu ace, Michael Seir. Caitlin, one of Spokane's finest with a flurry of firsts atop the marquee. First time in the Gem State, first main event, and first shot at gold. A whole lot of new, but the resume indicates he is equipped for this big spot.
Looking at his resume, he definitely is ready for this. All 5 of his victories come from stoppages, and I'm interested to see if he can get another submission here tonight.
Yazin Haji, his opponent with the most wins of any opponent Seir has ever faced. However, Seir, like you mentioned, has finished every single person he has faced opposite when he ends up getting the victory. Michael Seir, a professional since November of 2020. On top of that, a 3-0 amateur career. It's not on the books, but I was able to get that piece of information out of him at weigh-ins last night. Only one fight in 2023, but had a pair of canceled bouts in the final months of 2023. Both fell through. We get him here to kick off our first main event of 2024. Michael Seir ready to make the walk for gold right now. Back inside the building that crowned him a title, enter the Fierce FC Bantamweight champion, Yazin Haji. Caitlin, certainly a seamless game plan for the Las Vegas fighter last year, and impressively did it for a full 25 minutes, bearing the Idaho elevation.
Not only is it impressive that he went a full 25 minutes, I don't think people understand how hard it is to fight for 25 minutes, but he also did it at elevation, which takes some serious cardio.
Not to mention prolonged control time, 57% of the fight, 14 minutes and 10 seconds. Yazin Haji was in control when he won that belt nearly a year ago. Let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape presented by Water and Wellness for the final time in our main event bantamweight title bout between Yazin Haji and Michael Seir. Haji, 3-year senior to Seir. Seir, 2 inches taller. Yazin Haji weighing in at 135 pounds. Seir weighing in at 133.5 pounds. Haji with a little bit more experience under his belt at 7-2. Seir with a record of 5-1.
Fierce fans, this is your main event, and this fight is sponsored by Che Brazilian Grill. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Nate Decker. This fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds for the Fierce Fighting Championship Professional Bantamweight title. Now, one more time, I need everybody tuning into the pay-per-view. And everybody here at Hero Arena inside the Mountain America Center, from the upper suites to the arena seats, all the way down to cage side, put your hands together and make some noise! Yes, sir! Here we go, introducing the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 5 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 133 1/2 pounds, fighting out of Warrior Camp, hailing from Spokane Valley, Washington. Fierce fans, make some noise for Michael Seir. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 7 wins and 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada. Fierce fans, make some noise for the reigning, defending, undisputed Fierce Fighting Championship Bantamweight Champion, Yazin Haji.
Defend yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch him up.
Fierce FC Bantamweight champion Yazin Haji looks to defend in the red gloves. Michael Seir challenges in the blue. This Bantamweight title bout is brought to you by Che Brazilian Grill, a delicious Brazilian grill presenting rustic flavors with an unlimited menu. Che Brazilian Grill, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Yazin Haji shot in the first 15 seconds of his fight against Joel Haro. We will have to see if he has a similar game plan here tonight against Michael Seir. Yazin caught him on that one. An entry by Seir. Yazin Haji throwing a whole lot more than he did in his last fight against Joel Haro when he first won the Bantamweight Championship.
Nice leg kick landed by Michael Seir.
Seir gets a pop from the crowd with that clean connection.
He's landing that cross really well. Haji's switching stances a little bit.
Couple swings and misses for both bantamweights. High level IQ between these two. Extremely impressive records on the regional scene.
You can tell that both fighters respect each other a lot.
Haji privy to the head kick. Seir privy and getting out of the way of the attack of Haji. Haji meets Seir in the middle. High-level chess match thus far, Caitlin.
Definitely. It's back and forth. Both fighters are landing shots. Both fighters are landing clean shots.
We saw a lot of wrestling from Yazin Haji last year, showing a little bit more striking. His nickname is Yazzle Dazzle. Likes to shock the crowd, likes to bring the oohs and ahs, doing so thus far, halfway through round number 1.
Looking at both these guys' records, I would have expected it to go to the ground, but this is a great striking battle.
Both of Yazin's wins by TKO have come in the first round. We hear the support of Michael Seir's haircut in the crowd. Couple echoing chants of mullet. We get a little grin, but not a whole lot. Focused and fired up as he lands a clean shot there on Haji. And Caitlin, I think it's fair to say both these guys respect each other's grappling pedigree as well. Another reason to be standing on the feet.
Definitely. I'm sure both fighters don't want to get caught with something that they're not used to, so they want to test it out on the feet first.
The Seir body kick lands and rocks the champion as well. Gets a pop from the Idaho crowd. Haji, quick-witted, gets back to the center of the cage.
Both of these fighters are using feints really well.
Oh. Down is Seir. Gets right back up, and now we commence the grappling exchanges. Both seem to land. Yazin just a little bit more crisp, but Michael Seir right back to offense as he's nearing a takedown on Yazin Haji.
Nice knee landed by Seir.
Calm, cool, and collected is the incumbent as he fires back against the challenger. Final 10 seconds in what has been a high IQ level fight. There we go.
That was a beautiful technical first round by both of these fighters.
Unsure who might have won that round, but we are in the corner of Yazin Haji. Your thoughts on what the champ is doing well right now, Caitlin?
He's doing well at staying calm, cool, and collected. Even when he does get backed up or he's in a little bit of an iffy position, his face, like, you would never have known that he was in a weird position. He was just calm, kept his composure the entire time, and worked his way out of it. So I think that is what he's doing well.
If you were the coach over in the corner of Michael Seir, what would you be saying to him, Caitlin?
I would just say keep it up, work on your shots, and maybe work on pushing him back to the cage. When he does come in with a flurry of punches, he does have Haji backing up to the cage. So I would say flurry of punches, put pressure on the cage, and maybe work for a takedown.
Both fighters evading damage, both fighters leading the dance as we head to the top of the second of a possible 5 rounds here in our main event. Both fighters fresh with a spring in their step as they both meet expeditiously at the center of the cage.
Nice head kick attempted by Haji.
Big outside leg kick. Seir closes the distance. Couple of reversals in the center of the cage. A huge knee landed by Seir.
Seir's really good at those knees in the clinch.
Another attempted body kick. That one didn't land as flush, but still seeing a lot of offense for the fighter out of Spokane, Washington. A little bit more back and forth, not a whole lot of shots thrown, but more so just position and looking for a shot more than anything, Caitlin.
Yeah, I think you can just tell that both of these fighters respect each other so much.
Seir converges and is successful in it. Oh! Down is Haji! Seir can smell the gold.
I think he came in with a mean overhand uppercut, dropped him.
Haji in a troubling position. Seir looking to lock up another submission.
Seir smelt blood, and he is on the attack.
3 of Seir's 4 submission wins are by rear naked choke. The back is open, and he looks to be taking it. Chants of mullet echo through the Mountain America Center as the tides have turned towards the challenger.
And see, this is what I was talking about, the cool, calm, and collected demeanor of Haji. Even though he was in such deep waters just then, he has remained calm and has been able to work his way through this.
Right up against the broadcast booth we go. Tough spot to be for the champion.
He's working his way under the neck.
Seir is under the chin. Haji is fighting the hands. Haji gets himself back up to a knee.
He still has 2 minutes and 20 seconds to work in this position.
We heard from the corner of Seir to start attacking the head of Yazin to maybe open up a possible submission. Reeling him back in is Seir. 2 minutes to work in round number 2.
Great job defending that rear naked choke by Haji.
Another mean elbow from the back control position.
Now he's got to work that body triangle if he wants to escape this position.
Couple of punches, but Haji raises the guard.
And Seir is just staying so active in this back position. It's got to be so frustrating being in that position.
Yazin nearing a reversal. Seir fighting it the best that he possibly can. There it is! Michael Seir and new. Michael Seir is bringing back a belt to Spokane, Washington. He's the Fierce FC Bantamweight champion.
I'm going to be honest. What was that submission? Was it a neck crank? Was it...
Caitlin, they were right up against the broadcast booth, right in front of a panel. It was extremely difficult to see.
All I could see were the neck veins popping out of Haji's neck, so I am not sure what that was.
We are going to try to get a replay before you leave, Caitlin, if we can, because that was very, very difficult to see, and we apologize for the lack of emotion on that. But here it is, the Water and Wellness replay one last time.
Okay, here we go. Seir is pulling on the head. He has his hips in, and from that angle, I honestly couldn't really tell what it was.
Our production team does such a great job, but we are unable to get the primed angle for it. We'll have to hear more from the new Fierce FC Bantamweight champion, Michael Seir, closing out the first event of 2024 with a bang. An unfortunate way for things to play out for Yazin Haji. His first fight against someone with more than 4 wins since his Dana White's Contender Series appearance in June of 2018. His toughest test in quite some time. A competitive fight nonetheless, especially that first round, but the moment belongs to Michael Seir, and we are going to make it official. For the final time here tonight, let's kick it over to our man, Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, referee Nate Decker has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes and 23 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by submission due to a dirt devil, which is just like a twister but a mini one, and new undisputed fierce fighting champion, bantamweight champion, Michael Seir.
I'm here with your winner, Michael Seir. Michael, how does it feel to have that belt around your waist right now?
You know, I never even thought of fighting for a belt. I never did as an amateur, and I didn't think I was going. I just want to go to the UFC so bad, but hell, this thing's awesome.
Well, that was going to lead me into my next question. What do you feel like is next for you?
Oh, I always want the UFC, but, you know, we'll see. If not, I'll be right back here defending this thing.
All right, that would be awesome, a treat for us, but we'd love to see you in the UFC. Let's take a look at the replay.
You don't have it?
Just kidding, we don't have a replay. How do you feel about that submission? Did you think you were going to get the tap from that position?
Yeah, I practiced that a lot. I think I got that one from, it was either my coach Jesse or Daniel Swain, one of my old training partners. Yeah, we just called it a Dirt Devil because it's kind of a modified twister, but man, it feels good because I tried one other time getting a twister and I ended up going with a rear naked choke, so it feels good to actually get one of these. It's awesome.
Nice. A Dirt Devil really pairs well with the mullet. How did you feel when you heard the crowd chanting mullet?
I couldn't even hear him, damn it. I couldn't hear you. Let's go. No, I think we're going to have to call it, I don't know. So the Dirt Devil's pretty good. But the Joe Dirt Devil, maybe, I don't know.
I think you should fight in Idaho more often. I think we like you here. But we just want to say congratulations, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Michael Seir.
Hey, one more thing. Hey, I need a beer sponsorship. I'm still looking for one. Let's go. American beers only.
Get him a beer sponsorship.
Fierce fans, thank you for a wonderful Fierce Fighting Championship 29. We will see you February 10th, 2024 at the Maverick Center. Well, you in Idaho will be able to view the prelims free on YouTube. Make sure you go to YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the alert button, watch the fights on February 10th, buy the pay-per-view tickets at fiercefightingchampionship.com for the main card, and make some noise.
All right, welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 29. It concludes with a new champion, two new champions now, Viliami Kulu as well as Michael Seir. Caitlin, an incredible night of fights, a whole lot of fun, and we've got some new names to look out for.
Yeah, totally. 2024 started out with a banger, so let's see if we can keep it up for the rest of the year.
Caitlin, with that being said, some of the big names in your eyes that really stuck out to you on this card.
I mean, Michael Seir, the main event, he did awesome. He looked so technical, so good, and he just seems like a gamer. I think he definitely deserves to either defend the title or go right into the UFC.
Armandel Cameron versus Kerry Latimer, certainly more competitive than I think a lot of people were expecting.
Yeah, I thought it was a really back-and-forth fight until the finish. I am surprised with how much Kerry Latimer controlled the fight at certain points of the fight, so it was nice to see Armandel come out with the win. Obviously, he trains at Syndicate, but Kerry definitely put on a good performance.
Dietrich Jessup, an anticlimactic win, but nonetheless a win, and he gets it over a huge name.
Yeah, definitely. I like that he's a really good sport about it. He said it could have gone either way, so, I mean, it was kind of a weird decision, but it is what it is. That's what happens in MMA.
What about Preston Carlson getting that win over Michael Lazalde? Kind of an odd position, but still able to land it.
Yeah, Preston Carlson, I mean, he looked so young, so naive. He was so smiley. And Michael was just like mean and nasty. He was throwing nasty shots. But Preston really weathered that out, came out, got a submission, kept his composure, and came out with a win. It was really an impressive performance by such a young competitor.
Nate Reinhardt gets the win over John Smith. A big name in terms of the experience that he had. He showed it in the first round, but Nate Reinhardt able to get it done in the second.
Yep, definitely. Nate Reinhardt weathered the storm and was able to pull out the win, and I'm glad he got the stoppage there.
Chris Ventura also not the way that anyone wanted to see it close out, but he still looked phenomenal throughout it against Dustin Ireland.
Yeah, definitely. That was such a bummer for him. I mean, it was his MMA debut. He threw a knee. It could be illegal. It could not. We don't know. I think it went to the chest, but the ref thought it went to the chin. Either way, it was a great performance by Chris.
Taylor Mafileo certainly made a big name for himself after 4 years away and getting a finish in under 20 seconds. He seems like he's going to be following in the footsteps of his older brother Ken.
I mean, a 19-second finish, that has got to build your confidence.
Tate Martin, Michael Feifer, some other names, some other fun bouts. But we have got to move over to our home soil in just 2 weeks to kick off 2024 in Utah, live from the Mountain Maverick Center for Fierce Fighting Championship 30. February 10th, it features 5 title fights. Now, Caitlin, there are rumors that there might be 6 because Melody Schrock was unable to compete here tonight. She might be fighting as well.
I would love to see her on that card.
Not to mention Kent Mafileo, 2 UFC veterans in Jared Vandera and Justin James, Carson Hardman, Joel Haro, Zeke Latu, Andrew Mickelson's professional debut. The list goes on and on. This card can stay together. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to have the best night the promotion has ever had.
Big night. That is going to be a huge show.
Some of the other big names you're looking forward to, we have 4 amateur title fights. Talon Carvalho, Ammon Garcia, Tyler Call, Alex Johnson, Nasir Davis looking to defend against Michael Eastwood, Luke Saugunga versus Lauren Sua. Some big names, some big titles, and a lot of implications to be made.
Yeah, definitely. I love watching Talon and Tyler Call fight. So I'm excited to watch those two and watch them mature in their career.
Well, first fights of 2024 have concluded. Caitlin, it has been an absolute pleasure. Without our man Jason Laporte, we are so happy to have you here with us, and you've done an incredible job. Thank you so much for joining us. For everyone at Fierce Fighting Championship, from the production crew to those who put on the fights and everyone behind the scenes, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all in 2 weeks live from the Maverick Center for Fierce Fighting Championship 30.